Welcome back, and thanks for joining me. I am on the road, and I'm headed to a fun event up in Ocean Shores, and more about that later. But what I wanted to talk about and doing this little video is an introduction to another video, which will again follow this little monologue. But I wanted to set it up a little farther, go into a little bit more detail than what I did in the video. So this video is of a structure that was found last year at one of our campouts, very close to where we camp, by one of the camp members, Lenny. And I go into all the detail about how it was found and everybody's reactions, my reaction as well. But it was so fresh that I didn't go into full detail, and I want to do that now. So up until this camp, and for a long time, and I've kind of spoken about this, and I'm sure it's kind of universal for everyone, it's just life, we go through it, but I had experienced a lot of loss of loved ones passing over, and it's just kind of continuously built over the years, and it has weighed heavily on my heart. You know, I've been going through the grieving process for a while, and it's okay. It is a process. So when I got to this structure, in the video I say I had a moment, and I want to expound upon that, because what happened was that I laid eyes on this structure, and I was with Kevin and Sandy. They took me over to where it was, and I was astonished. I've seen structures before. I've been in the presence of structures before, but this one was different for me. Like, it hit me so hard, just how beautiful it was, and just like the thought that went into it, and the individuals who made it, the Sasquatch people who made this structure for us to find. I'm pretty sure they made it for us to find. And I would go even farther to say, I think they knew that I would have the response that I had, and I think that they were there with me when I walked into this structure. Because what happened when I walked into this structure was that there was a complete, release of all that weight of grief that was on my heart. And when I walked into that structure, it lifted. And I was brought to my knees. And I just started to release all of this emotion, all of this grief that had been building up for years. And it just washed out of my heart when I walked into the structure, and I just started bawling, crying my eyes out. And that is not something that I do. I know how to work with my emotions pretty well. I'm in a constant dialogue with my emotional body, but crying isn't a way that I release sadness. It very rarely. It does happen, but it's very rarely. But when I walked into the structure, it was waterworks, and I just let it out. I let it go. I let it be, and I was overcome with this loving, motherly love, fatherly love. It was just like this warm embrace. And I again have to give props to Kevin and Sandy, because I was there like losing my shit, right? And they just were so calm and just let me do my thing and just held space for me. And so thank you, you too. I love you guys. You were part of that process for sure. But that was the power of this structure for me, and that's what it provided. And I was in there crying for like, I don't even know, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half hour, I don't even know. It was a long time. And it was enough, and I walked out and I sat down next to the rocks that you'll see, which we believe were brought in. At least two of them were brought in. And they're huge boulders. So someone very strong had to bring them in to this area. And yeah, we just sat there and I just processed and allowed to be on the other side of crying and of the emotional release. And it was a very like formative moment in my life. And when I say in the video, like there was life before the structure and there was life after the structure, this is what I mean, because my heart was healed. And that's something that happens with people who have connections and experiences with the Sasquatch people. They really care about us and our well-being and our path of healing, and they will help if you are open to it and you make that known. They will respond and they will help in ways, you know, they're not sitting you down and saying, okay, let's write down all your problems and we can have this dialogue. It's not like that. But they're there and they know everything. They know everything inside your mind, your heart. They know where your intentions are. And if your intentions are for healing and to grow along this path of connection with them, they will answer that. And I mean, like, it's incredible. And I owe so much to this journey of walking with them, of walking this path with them, because of the amount of healing that has transpired from it. I am a better person right now, today, in my personal work than I have ever been. And I owe that to my personal work with them. So I just wanted to relay that when you see this video, like, it's not just, you know, beavers didn't make it, you know, people didn't make it. And I don't know if, you know, energetically we can walk into a place and go, ooh, the energy is different here. And the energy in that structure was just amazing. I called it the Cathedral. It reminded me of like an old Gothic cathedral, with the arches and the way that the doorways were created, and the dome shape of the structure. So yeah, check it out. I hope you enjoy it. And in that video that I put together, and again, this was from like last year. I've recently seen some photos of the structure and it's gone. It's like, you know, it's broken down. It's not the same anymore. But these videos and these photos of it were like kind of when it was maybe not at its prime, because we think it had been there for like the whole winter, but it was definitely just, it was amazing. So in the video I say, like, hey, like, take a look at this and meditate on it as we were able to, like, in the physical. Like, you can do that too with the videos. Just take some time and really process like what it means what that structure means. Someone made that structure. Who made that structure? What was the purpose for that structure? Why are they sharing it with us? It is the Sasquatch. Not all structures. Sure, people like to make things out in the forest. There's like wild art and stuff. And then there's other structures that people can't do. They don't have the strength. They don't have the ability. And some of these structures like go against physics and stuff. So, yeah, enjoy this video, enjoy the structure, enjoy the cathedral, and thank you, Lenny, for finding it. All right, peace out. Hi. It's Saturday, and I'm driving back home. I've spent the last 2 nights up in Greenwater. I got up there on on Thursday, and it was incredible. So much happened. It's hard to even put into words, but I will at some point. I do have a lot of video and photographs that I took. I'll at least talk about what the photos and the videos are of, and that is of a structure that was discovered by Lenny, and he found that before I got into camp on Thursday. So everybody knew about it. They had gone out there, and he took a walk, and he felt compelled to go into a certain area. He went there, and at first he saw one part of the structure, and then there was a second part of the structure. And so when I came into camp, I didn't go check it out on day 1. I went and checked it out on day 2, so on Friday. And as I was leaving, Lenny stopped me at the fire and at the campfire, and he said, "Now, when you go and you look at this," he goes, "when you get up there, you're gonna see, a bunch of stuff piled up. There's thousands of sticks that are constructing this." He goes, "But when you look at that, just prepare yourself for when you pan left and look across the creek." So almost I didn't plan for it to happen, but that's exactly how it happened. When I got there, Sandy was kind of guiding me of where to look, and of course we came up to the first structure, which was it was probably a blind that was created to hide what was across the creek. So Sandy points me to the direction of this, and she's pointing it out and saying, "Okay, this is this part." And she goes, "Now, do you see across there?" And I was looking a little bit, wasn't exactly sure what direction to look, and then I saw it, and it changed my life. It absolutely changed my life. In that moment, life was different. It was before the structure, and now it was after the structure. After seeing that, and then going to visit it, and to honor its construction, and to take in the beauty of what it was and the hands that created it, to meditate upon the creators, to meditate on sharing that space, and that they shared that space with us. So I had a moment in that structure that I'm going, I call it a cathedral because it had the feeling of sanctuary, and it had the construction of just one of the old world structures, one of the old cathedrals. It had an emphasis on Trinity. It had 3 entrances. It had glyphs lining the ground of the inside of the structure that in some spots resembled the flower of life, and Vesica Pisces. There was a wall, a fence of sticks that had been shoved into the ground to create a fence wall with other parts woven through. There were vine maples that had been bent over and under other logs, down trees, and it was solid. It was absolutely solid. The construction was perfect. So I want you to meditate on it as I did, because there's a lot to get from it. There are gifts and offerings to uncover from within by meditating on the photos and the videos, and I hope you enjoy it. So yeah, get out in the woods, man. It's good for you.
and over and down that way. I mean, they're all just, see, it just comes up. And then this one too, and it's interwoven, and it starts making this circle. Follow the circle around here on the other side. It's how they just molded it. I mean, the construction is amazing. It is just solid in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these were absolutely stuck in. This one was stuck in here after everything was here because these are up. See?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes sense to me. No.
I wonder.
Fascinating. And that live cedar is live. It's still got cedar. Green cedar. And it goes into the bottom of the structure down there. And the roots are right there. It's fascinating.
It's the most impressive engineering.
Yeah. I mean, it's just fascinating how they.
Nice.